Welcome back to In Your City Show, and we have a very special guest, one of our hot list guests, and it is Brandon Williams with the Battlehawks. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hi,
I
Brandon.
appreciate you all allowing me to come and be a part of this show, and I'm excited. Let's do it.
We're so excited. And before we even get started talking about you, because it's about you, have you met Dwayne Johnson?
You know, it's
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh.
Look, no,
I
that's
can't believe she even went there.
That's my crush.
believe it because
She tried with
everybody,
this, but it didn't really get that close.
everybody that I meet says
Ask
the
you?
exact
Really?
same thing. Have you met? And I can't
Well-
I can't call him The Rock. I have to call him DJ. That's his professional XFL name. So
Really?
I rock with DJ all the time. Like, I meet
Oh
DJ.
my gosh,
No,
tell
I
him
have
Kelly
not
said
met
hi.
DJ
Oh, shoot.
yet.
You should have just
Yet.
left it with
No,
that.
no.
Well, good. You know what? You haven't met him yet, and when you do, we're tagging along.
Come on.
Just make sure you mention Kelly. That's all that
Just
matters.
mentioning. I bet he's really nice.
No.
I just feel like he's probably a really nice guy. You guys would just hit it off.
No, I agree because one of the things when I met with Russ Brandon, who's the president of our league,
Okay.
one of the first things he said to me is when you meet DJ, everything that you've heard about him, everything you see on his social media, that's really him.
Wow.
He's really a nice guy. He's really all energy, and he's really all about the work that he's doing and making sure people around him are being successful. And so that was my first real introduction talking
Yeah.
about DJ. And so I'm excited to meet him, honestly.
Well, we're excited about the Battlehawks. I love, my gosh, all anyone's talking about is the crowds. And so before we get into it, let's make sure everybody knows who you are, Brandon,
Yes.
with the XFL Battlehawks.
Absolutely. So I am the vice president of team business and event operations.
That is a big
so
title.
essentially,
Glad you said
I'm essentially the top brass here in St. Louis for our Battlehawks team. I helped build everything that you see. I brung on all the staff and been working exclusively with the XFL League and their staff and really trying to build an authentic St. Louis football team and tell the story of St. Louis football, not just NFL, XFL, Battlehawks, Rams, Cardinals, but really what's the story of the people who've been watching Little League, high school, college, and professional football, and how do the fans resonate with just the game of football? Because we have a crazy love affair, right?
Yeah.
We have
Oh
it,
my
then we
gosh.
don't. Then we have it, then we don't. And it's one of those things that we really need to tell that deep-rooted story of what is it like to be a fan of football in St. Louis.
Incredible. I mean, was it March? Was it 38,000 in the stands?
Actually,
in the
almost
seats?
every attendance has been in the 30,000s, right?
Yes,
And the
yes.
announcers are just talking about, listen to these fans. In fact, the game that was on
Announcers from
Saturday.
other teams are talking about it. It's
Right.
like, you know, I almost feel sorry for the players when they got to go out of St. Louis because they're just kind of like,
It's just
well,
not the same atmosphere.
No.
It's not
I
the
mean, they
same
couldn't even
atmosphere.
hear the plays down on the fields. You know, the fans were going crazy. And I love that you can hear the plays.
Yes.
Because normally
That-
they're like this, and I'm like, well, I'm
That
just listening.
experience from a viewership standpoint, when we introduced that, you see Dean Blandino telling you about when penalties happen.
Right.
And then you get to see offensive, defensive coordinator and them actually calling the play. And then what are they saying before they call that play? And then, well, why are they calling that play? And then when it works and when it doesn't work, you see certain reactions, but you get to hear a different experience from a fan perspective that you've never seen before when it comes to football. You don't get this anywhere.
No.
Like literally, this is the first league that you can actually access what the offensive and defensive coordinators are saying. And I love it.
I do too. I actually made a post on Facebook one day. I said, you know, this platform is so much more entertaining than the NFL to me. Not only that, when you're talking about let's say Kelly, who doesn't really understand football too well,
Oh.
this
What?
gives.
Are you
I
serious?
did throw her under the
She
bus.
knows this.
I threw her under the bus, but that's going to give her a better understanding when she can hear the plays and she can hear what was that penalty about? And why did they call that? And why are they doing this? She can understand it more because she's seeing it, she's hearing it, and it's more informative, I think.
What's it
is.
like to you? Because I know we were talking about your past, which you can let people know. I mean, you actually were a football player. You're not just
I
a businessman in a suit now. You're out on the big NFL field. I know he knows. I can't remember all the teams. You've been with a few teams. Who do
I
you
have
Wisconsin
no.
Badgers?
So my
Yep.
story is a very unique story when it comes to St. Louis football, and that's why I'm really so
Oh,
passionate.
take us back
about
a
it.
little bit and bring
Take
us
us
up
back
to
to
speed.
high school, by the way.
Let's
Where'd you go to high school?
I'll go even further. So I played at Matthews Dickey, right here off Kings Highway in 70.
I coached JFL football.
You
We played
did?
Matthews Dickey.
See, you remember
the
when it
Eagles.
was just JFL. You
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
Now it's like 19 other organizations,
gosh.
right? And so I played at Matthew Dickey, went to Hazelwood East.
By the
graduated.
way,
That's where she.
yes.
You were an
Hazelwood
East
East.
alum?
Graduated
Oh
Hazelwood
my
East.
God,
Probably many years
Spartan
before
pride.
you, but
Spartan
I
pride
was a
everywhere.
Spartan. I was a cheerleader.
Nice. So you remember Rick Gorzinski.
Of course.
Good old Gorzo.
Oh
Gotta
my
love
gosh,
him.
he was amazing.
So then I went to the University of Wisconsin, got drafted in 2006 to the 49ers, third round pick. Then I came back home to the Rams for a season and a half and then finished with the Steelers in 2010. But then I came back home and I was in broadcasting for 10 seasons. And I covered the St. Louis Rams for 5 years with Martin Kilcoyne on Channel 2
Sure.
over there. So I not only had the opportunity, I played in the state championship in that dome, played in that dome, covered the
what
teams in
history.
that dome. And now to be full circle moment, my first big job in sports is to actually run the organization from a business standpoint that plays in that dome. So my story in St. Louis football is unique that nobody else can tell, and so I'm excited.
Let's go back to
about it.
that. So now you're running an organization. When you were a player, did you have thoughts and things that went in your mind about how the organization was run? And it's like, man, you know what? They need to do this, they need to do that. But now that you're actually doing that, do you have some sympathy for the way they had to deal with things, or do you see it in a different light?
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, we really didn't think that much about what the business side was doing because
Sure.
we were so cut off from the
Right.
business side.
Right.
We were super focused on
Touchdowns.
winning games. Like, let's win a game. Let's prepare for a game. Whatever coach is saying, that's what we're doing. Where's my training table? Can I, do I need to get healthy? And then I'm leaving that building, and I'm not thinking about that building anymore. I'm going home to my family or whoever, right? And so now coming on this side, I get to see it from every lens. And I think the uniqueness about somebody like me is that I can talk to players. I can
Yeah.
talk to coaches. And to your point
They can't
of,
say you don't understand.
they can't say you don't understand. And I can also talk to our business staff and say, look, this is how we need to approach this. We can't do it this way. We got to do it this way because I understand what they're thinking. I understand how coaches is feeling. And, when it gets closer and closer to bigger games, coaches get a little bit tighter.
Yep.
But players tend to be a little bit more looser. And so you can't do as many community engagement, season ticket member engagement pieces as you would maybe earlier in the season, as you get later in the season and as games become bigger, right? And so just having that thought process, understanding that, I think I bring a lot from those experiences to the table for any sports organization.
Right. We're doing an article in our men's issue, June, talking about the fans and the excitement with the Battlehawks and the new soccer team because we're just so excited and we're so happy to have this within our city. And we had so many people that wanted to step up to the plate to talk about their experience, which, by the way, we haven't actually experienced. So if you know somebody, I think there's only 2 games left. Our photographer's
games
getting to go
left.
there on the
We've gotta go.
16th. So we need to get in there. But we're excited about being able to show the excitement that's within
Yes.
our city
Yes.
of your team.
I could not tell you how excited and how happy and thrilled I am for the fans of St. Louis. This is a sports town.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not a football, it's not baseball, it's not hockey. It is a sports town. You bring anything to this town, we will celebrate it, support it, and especially if you're winning, we're going to show
Yeah,
out.
we're really gonna
right?
show.
And so I think that is what even the XFL as a league and the new owners and DJ and Danny and Jerry Cardinal, they may not have really understood that coming into it. They knew 2020 was really cool, successful. We had a lot of people come out, but I don't know if they really understood that we're going to duplicate that and we're
Yeah.
going to double down on that same experience, that same excitement, and our fans have really shown up. And I think we still have a long way to go because we still have so many people that still didn't really even know when our game started, when does the season start, who's
Right.
on our team, who's the coach. Oh, you run the team? Oh, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, you know. They like, well, how long is it? Are you gonna be doing this full time? I'm like, this is literally a full time job.
This
Like,
is
what are you
real.
talking about? You know, because I came from Anheuser-Busch, and so people were
That's
like,
right.
so you're gonna do Anheuser-Busch and the Battlehawks? I said, no. I'm just doing the Battlehawks because this is a real league with real players and it's real stuff here.
And it's a real job.
It's a real
It's a real
job.
job. You're like, so what did you think when your what would be your social media person decided to play a
Oh.
game on us all? And
So whose idea was
tell
that?
you they just got to, you're moving
And was
over
it
to
too
LA.
soon?
No.
Not too
So
soon.
it was probably too soon, but I do
Not
not.
for me.
That
I
was
thought
hilarious.
it was funny.
I love our social media manager. She is probably one of the best in the business with sports. She's
So she
not
didn't
from
get
here.
fired. So to let you know what happened on April Fool's Day, the Battlehawks decided to put a post up stating that they were moving to LA.
You know, and it was insane because I did not actually see the post till maybe 8 or 9 at night when somebody texted me like, "You moving to LA?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so when I seen the post, I was like, "Oh man, why did she do that?" But
soon.
it was too soon,
great.
and people were hitting me up like, why did you approve that? And I was like,
you
look, don't worry about all of that.
No,
But just
that's
know that it was a joke. It was maybe not in good taste at the moment.
Yes.
But look, let's
I thought it was funny. It took me
I
a
thought it
minute.
was
I was
kinda-
reading
it was-
it,
it
and
was
it
funny
actually
too.
took me a minute. I went, what?
Yeah, I was-
It's April
just
Fool's
like
Day.
I was just like you, Gordon. I
Got
was
us
reading it like,
talking.
what? Oh, okay. Oh, come
You're
on.
like,
it's
oh my
April
gosh,
1st.
That's
he's like,
like,
I got to get a new
I was
job.
traded?
Yeah, right. I'm like, I'm not going to LA. I'm gonna be getting a new job. No, but I thought she's really great. She always gets told in the comments that we have the best account in the XFL.
Yes, you do.
And so
great.
we talked about it. She laughed about it, and she's just not from here, so she just doesn't understand the true vitriol that comes behind something like that.
Which goes back to your point earlier about how we buy into it and how we're so sucked in. And once we get loyal, St. Louis fans, once they're loyal,
It's all good.
it doesn't get turned off.
It does
Yeah.
not, and I think this will be a moment that we can laugh about in 2 and
Absolutely.
3 years from
Yeah.
now when we're winning championships with the Battlehawks. That's what I believe.
And so to let everyone know, there's 2 more games,
Yes.
and should you win that last game, that takes us where?
So the next game we have is against the Seattle Sea Dragons,
Sea Dragons.
and we beat
Well,
them.
that's not our title.
we
Well, no, he
beat
was trying to keep from saying Seahawks.
Yeah, sea dragon. Yeah, one of those sea things, right? No, and so we are currently tied for second place with them. We beat them. We'll be in first place, in second place, the second place team, and then we'll end up playing DC, the DC Defenders, in the playoff games, and so in the playoff game, which will be 3 weeks from now. So we're excited about
Yeah,
it. It's a great
fabulous.
opportunity, and I think that our team is pretty much ready to take control of their own destiny. They got it, so let's do it.
Well, we're excited. So Brandon Williams, youngest sports executive. There you go.
Yes,
He
that's
is our hot list guest today. Thank you for taking time to come in,
Appreciate
talk
it.
about the XFL and the Battlehawks. We're excited to have you all. I know St. Louis is just beyond excitement for everything that's happening, and we'll be watching and seeing you just
Take us out
continue
with
to
the
grow.
caw-caw. Take
us
My-
out with the
my-
caw-caw.
my fellow Hazelwood East
That's right, Spartan
graduate.
Pride,
Spartan.
Battlehawks. Can we get call on 3?
Yeah.
One,
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
That was fantastic.